All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is in the cosmos, whenever this is finding you there. Hello, and welcome to Kaichi Alchemy. You can call me Kachi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. I want to thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for co creating community with us. Thank you for all of the engagement, all the likes, shares, subscribes, comments, etc. It really helps the channel to grow, to reach more people, and hopefully to help more people. So it's been a minute. I have been not in the cave, in the training. I literally just went to go get some body work from one of my coworkers. And I don't know if you can see anything on my face. I can barely see anything on my face. But since I was a small child, whenever I received body work on like one of those traditional Swedish massage tables with the little face rest thing, the entire time I've always had deep indentation of a U on my face for hours, all day pretty much, afterwards. And it's not like I was like shoving my face in there. It's not like, I was like in a weird space. It is consistent always, every time. And I know I bruise easily and I have poor circulation, and it's improved greatly with a lot of the things that I've done to help with that internally. But I feel like structurally, there is something so different about my face now. And of course, if you are new here, I was just in a craniosacral training for the last 4 or 5 days. And it's something that I have been thinking about for like my entire 14-year career in massage therapy. And I had a million reasons why I didn't do it. But I just wanted to share. Yeah, it's gone. I just got home. I just left the place. I'm flabbergasted. I am so flabbergasted. Like the indentation from the face cradle from the massage is already gone from my face. It's been less than an hour. This has never happened to me in my entire life. And what did we do when we were in training? We were working on on a lot of my facial bones, but we got into the sphenoid, which, what is the sphenoid? It's like the butterfly shaped bone deep in the center of your head. And my sphenoid was in a very malpositioned place, and I already kind of knew that. I've had a couple of craniosacral experiences and just knew a little bit about my own anatomy, but what do you really do about that? Well, we did something about it. Clearly, I have an entirely different type of circulation moving through my skull, moving through my face now. And it made me think when my instructor was identifying and commenting on the malpositioning of my sphenoid bone. That when I was little, I didn't crawl. I was a baby, and then I was like, I need to get the heck out of here. I need to get as far away from my mother as possible. Go, go, go. And I saw people walking and I just tried to do it. And I didn't have the musculature. I didn't learn how to do right hand, left leg, and reversing and doing that whole thing. You know what I mean? Hello, Vivek. I'm doing well. That's kind of what I'm getting at, right? But when I was a child, I was walking around, running around, trying to get away when I didn't have the ability to hold myself up. And so I would constantly fall over onto furniture and onto the floor and onto metal and onto things where I basically knocked my baby teeth out. And I just smacked my face in over and over and over again. And it isn't until you're maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, like 15, I guess, is when it really finishes. All the fusion of all of the bones in your head and your face and stuff. And so I had this soft, delicate structure growing in my face, and I just kept smacking it over and over and over again. And so, of course, my entire life I've had poor circulation and dysfunction in my head. Of course, every time I get a massage and I put my face in that thing, I have this deep indentation on my skin all day long because my circulation is struggling to get there. Because structurally, there's no way for those fluids and things that are supposed to go in there to go in there. And I waited so long to do this. I waited so long to do this. It's like voodoo. It's like Reiki. It's like, sounds funny coming from us, but like that was just too far out there for me. And so this is your sign. If you happen to live in the area and be one of my subscribers who like I know in real life, hit me up because I need practice bodies. I need to get it in my hands every day, all the time, all the time, all the time. So if you're unfamiliar, maybe go look into it. Or if you just trust me, come on over. And if not, this may be either a message for you to go and do the thing, whatever the thing is that you felt like that doesn't make sense, or people are gonna judge it, or I'm not gonna be good at it, I'm not good enough for it, it's too hard, it's not gonna be successful, like whatever the thing is in your head that you've been coming up against, even though you have this desire and this intuition about something, to do it, to make it happen, to take the plunge, because I think that this is a really good time for you, if that's resonating with you, to prove yourself wrong, you know what I mean? And perhaps you would do well if you have some sort of similarities with me in this circumstance, to go reach out to the people in your area and like maybe find a craniosacral therapist around you, so that you can have that experience. I think that our experience of life is so deeply impacted, not only by, our structure of our hips and the place that our voice is in, but our face and our head, and like we all have so much brain fog in society today. I wonder very much if this is a structural issue due to all of the birth trauma, all of the stuff that we're put through, that is just completely misaligned with what's evolutionarily appropriate for a human being. So that's my little rant about where I've been, and I will be popping on for a live stream this Wednesday. We're gonna do a little rundown of what things are gonna look like moving forward, but this was just like totally impromptu. I wanted to share this with you because I am, again, completely flabbergasted by the lack of you on my face right now, and I needed to share it with somebody, but I'm still very physically and energetically sensitive from everything I've been through over the last week, and being in that training with like 30 people in a seminar room all day, every day. So overwhelming for a system like me, and I really am only good at like being in large groups of people, maybe once a week. I think I can manage that. So I'm gonna chill, gonna clean my house, catch up with everything, gonna really get in a good grounded headspace for y'all on Wednesday so that I can clearly communicate where we're going next. But since we're here, I think I'm going to pull some cards because it sounds like a good idea. Mohammed, hello. Hello, hello. I think that this is all of the cards in this deck. We're going to be using the Herbal Tarot. It's like my very first tarot deck I ever bought for myself several years ago. And let's see. Spirit, is there anything that the people finding this video here today, whatever today is for them, is there anything that they need to see, hear, feel, experience, contemplate at this time? Is there anything that I can assist them with? Whoa. Okay. Give me a second. We have ginseng, horsetail, and parsley. These are all very therapeutic. Like, they have herbal medicine purposes. All plants do, but they can't be seen in that light. but they're also kind of kitchen herbs. They're like, you make food with ginseng and horsetail and parsley. They're like nutritional, you know? They're nourishing. They give you minerals and vitamins and compounds that are useful. Well, wasn't I just saying that the message for this group of people today is that you should take the chance, do the thing, now's the time? That's interesting. Okay, so first we have the Fool in the recent past for y'all. So it's like, maybe you have a history of experiences of, you know, jumping off of a cliff, of taking chances, of like, maybe there's a part of you that already, you know, understands and embraces this energy. But it's in the past position. And so in the context of this, we have in the present position 5 of Cups. It's kind of like being dejected and disappointed and, you know, focused. It's the spilled milk, crying over spilled milk card. And you're just sitting with all of these cups that have fallen over, these, you know, oh, this is different than a lot of 5 of Cups cards. I wonder, I don't know. There's one behind him that's full that he doesn't see, and then there's 2 in front of him that he also doesn't see because he's like looking down all sad and stuff. So yeah, it's like from every direction there are opportunities, there is fulfillment, there is opportunity for emotional fulfillment. But there is this 40% of spilled milk that you're crying over. And it's red too. So I mean, that could be wine or something, but I'm kind of getting here that you jumped off of a cliff, smelling a rose, thinking about roses, following the sun off the edge of the cliff, fell into the darkness. Broke your ass. And this is, you know, you're still bleeding out. You're, oh, am I gonna get suppressed for that? Oops. We'll get back on top of shit on Wednesday. How's that? Seems like some of y'all are finding your way over here anyways. Oh, new. Hello. Hi, Beast Guy 2401. Yes. Welcome. Okay. So, wow. Then try again. What is that song? I'm gonna have to find it because I can't figure out the artist or enough of the lyrics to just search it right now. So I'm gonna have to sit on it for a minute. But it might be useful for you, so I'll put it on the community tab if the song that is coming through now is, you know, found and is relevant for you. Okay, so this is kind of like rose-colored glasses, right? He's looking at the rose. He's seeing the sun. He's seeing the sun and the rose. But there's also the darkness here, so he's not seeing that. So it's like you're only focusing on the good and you're not seeing the bad. And then here it's like you're only focusing on the bad and you're not seeing the good. 1400 on the timer. Is it temperance? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Temperance. You may struggle with some kind of like fearful avoidant attachment or like manic depression or whatever other words and systems you like to use to describe that kind of energy. So in the past, you had an experience that you maybe overcorrected from, right? And protecting yourself is important. This guy's sitting on the ground. He's nowhere near a cliff. He's not even looking at the sky. The sky is cloudy and dark. And you know, ginseng is like a super energy, it's like not caffeine, but something like that. It's a stimulant. And horsetail is very like nutritive. It's very mineral. It's very grounding. It's good for your hair. It's good for your bones, you know? So you had too much levity. And maybe now you have too much grounding. And obviously you have to find a way to like titrate that, find that temperance in there. So this isn't to say like go completely back to where you were before and walk around with rose-colored glasses and get hurt again. It's just like maybe ask and question and reflect on where you are in this energy. Are you in the Fool? Are you in the Five of Cups? Are you somewhere in between? Are you moving from one to the other? Which direction are you moving, right? And not judging it, just like looking at it, contemplating it, thinking about it. Sitting in a chair and just thinking and not like trying to get to an answer or a solution or an insight. That is when the most useful, valuable insights usually come. Prayer is very wonderful and important, and it sets all this intention and this communication up, but you can't just pray. You have to also sit. You have to meditate. You can't just ask. You have to also listen. You have to also receive. You can't just give. You also have to receive. You can't just give. You have to also receive. But you got to do both. And it's not when you have that imbalance, it's because you're reacting. You're reacting to getting hurt from being in too much levity. And then you're reacting to being too isolated and protecting yourself. So you just kind of react to how this is unhealthy and you slam back into this energy, and then you react to how you've been hurt, and then you just slam back into this energy, and it's like a lot of extremes, right? And this was probably more likely more of your general past energy, and this is more of your current energy, but maybe it's like real time specific to right now, and you know, you've gone back and forth a ton in your life, and that's just kind of your identity. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody here because it is a collective message, and we've got quite a few people on here already. We've got like 5 likes. I've been here for like 15 minutes or something. I haven't even been on for a long time, so that's crazy. So because you have this energy of needing temperance, of being reactive, right? This is like meditation, a reactive meditation, a reactive cave dwelling. And this is like a reactive socialite, like a reactive people pleaser, like a, yeah. So, how do you get out of that? How do you stop meditating your way into rose-colored glasses? And how do you stop praying your way into lessons that you weren't really asking for, you weren't really ready for, or like it wasn't really what you were praying for, but it was what you were praying for. It's just like, sometimes our prayers are not answered the way that we hope and expect, but they are always answered the way that we need them to be, right? So you're being confronted with this back and forth energy that is reactive, and your future, your advice, your potential is the Lovers. I don't know if I'm gonna get there we go. Is the Lovers. This is Parsley, and on this card we have the sun coming up here, and he's like looking up at the sun. He's looking at the rose through the sunlight. And then this is a real dark, stormy card. Maybe there's not a lot of sunlight right now. Maybe the only sunlight you have is like inside. He looks very internal. He's like in a little fetal position thing going on there, right? His gaze is inward drawn. So, you were looking up at the sun and fell off this cliff because you were so focused on looking up. This guy's so focused on looking down, he doesn't see the cups. This guy's so focused on looking up, he doesn't see the danger. Or maybe he sees it, but he doesn't care. He's not paying attention to it. You know what I mean? He's not invested in that. And your opportunity, your potential in the future is to come back to the sun, but not just look at the sun, you know? Like, stop being reactive and like escaping by being like overly optimistic and positive projection and stuff. And also stop doing the reverse of that. How do you get out of that space of reactivity, and how do you get into a space of temperance and balance so that you can have the lessons and the pleasure, the lovers? You choose what you're doing in every moment. Even if you have fears or desires that are pushing you and pulling you, you slow down enough to see not just the desires and the fears, but also your body, your community, the people around you, the place that you're in right now. Not just looking at the future potential, not just looking at the past pain, but being right here, right now, making the choice to be right here, right now with the people in the Midgard, in the earth, in the present moment. Slowing down enough to say, I have this feeling, I have this instinct, I have this desire, I have this fear. What does it make me want to do? What am I thinking about doing? 2200 on the clock. And that's how you're gonna find the stability. That's how you're gonna pursue and manifest your desires without losing the groundedness and the lessons that the storms have to teach you, where you're able to be in a place of responsiveness and choice regardless of the circumstances around you. Because even regardless of what energy you're in, these two guys are wow, it's been a minute since I did that. Where I was like following a download and then it just like cut off in the middle. I'm like trying to force it. Because I don't want to be embarrassed. I mean, that's part of the reactivity, right? Is you have an idea and a vision of what's going to happen. And you want to make sure it happens that way so you can control it, right? This guy kind of wants to be disappointed, almost. He wants to like be proven right. He wants to be validated in his pity party energy. He wants to be validated as a victim. And, you know, this person wants to be validated as a little fluff ball of joy and helpfulness and goodness, but we're all more than that. We're all a lot more complicated than that. So, you know, this could be about people, but I mean, really, this is more just this person's looking a little up and this person's looking a little down. This person's like female, this person's like male. There is sun up here, but there's also like storm clouds that it's coming up out of. There are things growing here. but not all growth is good. Like sometimes it's too much. You ever eat too much parsley? Probably not unless you're a green smoothie nerd, but okay, so anyways, you're being asked to slow down enough, however much that is for you, whatever is necessary for you, to remain present and balanced, grounded and hopeful, to have faith and discernment, and to not react to your experience of any of those things in a knee-jerk kind of way. And if you are reacting to those things in a knee-jerk kind of way and you're seeing that, then you need to slow down more. That's how you can tell. And you may say, Kaya, what the heck? I'm already so moving so slowly. I can't. But if you are being reactive, sorry. You might want to get somewhere, you might want to achieve something, you might want to make something happen, but your commitment to that desire is important, and you definitely shouldn't let go of it. And I know sitting in the tension of wanting something and not being able to make it happen right now is painful, but it's painful in the way of like when you work out and you're sore. It's a good pain, it's a productive pain, it's a useful pain, right? Yeah. Inner temperance. Regardless of the situations around you, that is the prize. That is what you're choosing. You're choosing yourself, you're choosing balance, you're choosing temperance, no matter what that looks like. Even if you have to take it slow in your career, in your relationships, in your shadow work, and your pursuits, in your whatever it is for you. This fool is in the woods, you see. He's gonna jump over a cliff. This kind of an abstract painting. I don't know why there'd be a cliff in the middle of the woods like that, but whatever. He's in the woods. And this guy got out, and he's healing up from his injuries. He's sitting, under the clouds. But he's also in this big open field, you see? Big open field. He's curled in, he's looking down, he's internal. But he crawled out from this space of like being lost, being in the woods, being in danger. Maybe you learned to do this rose-colored glasses thing because you were lost and stuck in the woods. And how are you going to survive that if there's no sunlight? You just look up through the hole in the trees and you focus on that. You ignore everything else going on around you eventually because you've been stuck here for so long and you can't tell your way when you're that lost in the woods. So it's like you stopped even trying to navigate. You stopped even trying to use signs and guideposts and information in a productive, logical way because you were like, it doesn't matter no matter how hard I try, I just keep going in circles. I'm lost in the woods. Might as well make the best of it. I'm just gonna smell the roses, look at the sun, and live fully immersed in the tiny specks of fulfilled desire that I have in this space with really no hope of ever getting out of it. And I'm just gonna romanticize the heck out of that and make it work for me, which, no shame. But it's like, I think you doing that and falling off this cliff is how you ended up doing something that you wouldn't have done intentionally, right? Because you were being overly optimistic. You did something that hurt you, but it also tumbled you out of the woods and into this big open field where you have all of these possibilities. And yes, you're healing and you're hurt from what you went through, and you're not quite in so much of that fool energy anymore at this point, but you have more potential than that fool ever did. You're not lost in the woods. You're in a wide open field. And eventually, as you choose this temperance, as you find the marriage and the yoga and the union of the different parts of yourself, the different reactions, the different responses, the different points of view, as you learn to befriend yourself in that way, as you learn to integrate things in that way, now you're in a field and the sun's out, but storms roll through and you can see them and you can point them out and you can respond to them and you can react to them. And you're not really in a forest, but like you're closer to the mountains than you were before. You're a little more grounded. Interesting. Well, that was a very simple and almost redundant message because it's been coming through for the collective a lot lately. But you know what they say, that's just, sometimes we're going to be given a message until we're able to hear it at the right time, in the right place, in the right headspace for it to trigger what it needs to trigger to get us where we actually need to go, you know? I'm gonna get some clarifiers on here because I'm just like nosy and curious. You definitely should take your time moving through this lesson if that's what you need to do. But I mean, are you feeling overly idealistic? Are you feeling dejected? Where are you at right now? Ask yourself some questions again. Okay, can I get a clarifier on the Lovers in the potential position? That was so many. I don't know if I'm going to take that. Let's see. Okay. Let's see where this goes. So in the past position, the Fool is clarified by the Four of Chalices in reverse. On this card, it says, Jonah 4:3, now Lord, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live. Four of Chalices, Jonah's anger. Right. It's like you had disappointment, you had instability, you had problems, you know? But you refused to shake your fist at God about it. You refused to let your disappointments define who you are. You refused to let your disappointments change your character. And that's why you were so extraordinarily committed to this Fool energy, to this rose-colored glasses thing. Because it was like almost like a defense mechanism. I'm not gonna let you turn me into anger. I'm not gonna let you turn me into destruction. I'm not gonna let you turn me into I'm not gonna let my bullies turn me into them. I'm not going to hate on God. because of something that somebody did to me. I'm not gonna let my potential and my kindness and my joy dissipate because of somebody trying to put me in my place in some way. That's not up to them, and it never was. And I don't need to take that personally. Jonah's anger reversed. Okay, and then the present position, Five of Cups, being clarified by the Empress and the Queen of Feathers. Those are really pretty cards. Give you a second with them. Mother, or Mary, Mother of Jesus. And then Queen of Feathers, the verse here, it says, "May you be blessed for your good judgment and for keeping me from bloodshed this day and from avenging myself with my own hands." Abigail, the peacemaker, Queen of Feathers. This card has a 13 on it. It's like the Death card. Transformation. Mary, Mother of Jesus. So you're in this energy right now because of, well, you are reacting to things you experienced in the past. You tried to refuse to let people get you down, and they doubled down. And you're having to lick your wounds a little bit because you've been forced into that position. But it's not like you're letting that humble you exactly the way that anybody may have desired to try to do. It's like you're just doing what you need to do to heal and taking your time in doing that. And you're going to become, you are becoming an alchemist here with your words, with the way that you speak to God, with the way that you speak to yourself, with the way that you speak to the world around you, even when you are suffering. You still don't let the world get you down. You try to kind of, I don't know, this is almost like spiritual bypassing a little bit. And it's like, it's not that somebody humbled you, it's that God let somebody humble you. Not because it was coming from the right place in that person exactly, but more because you needed to release some of that spiritual bypassing energy to a degree, you know? And not completely, but finding that balance, right? So you are giving birth to yourself through your prayers, through your scripting, through your manifestations, through the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you speak to others. If this was in reverse, that would have something to do with being like sharp and cutting and manipulative and stuff. But you're not. You're in this upright Queen of Swords and this Mother Mary energy. Patience, honesty, truth. It's not like you're trying to cut through and away from this experience of suffering that you are sitting in right now, but it's just that you are practicing faith and you're experiencing the alchemy that comes with practicing faith, knowing that nothing is guaranteed and you're not entitled to a dang thing in life and you never know what's going to happen. And your worthiness is not always necessarily reflected in the way that your world looks around you, but faith is about no matter what is going on around me, I hold space for the potential of being pleasantly surprised, of wandering in the desert for 40 years and finding a land of milk and honey. Like, you don't stop putting in the effort and the energy just because something seems hopeless. And that's what faith is about. That's what miracles are about. Your prayers are not always answered. Miracles don't always occur. And that's why some people choose not to be in that energy, because they don't want to be humiliated. They don't want to pour their energy into their faith and be proven wrong. But you can't be proven wrong in faith. That's not what faith is. It's not a bargain. It's not, I'm going to try really hard to be hopeful right now, even though I have no reason to, with my discernment, actually feel that way. Faith is a choice that you make. A choice that you make. That you may not, you may run into your fears. You may not receive your desires. But you're not going to let that ambiguity define who you are, to turn you into a bully, turn you into a dejected loser. Like, you choose whether you're a winner or a loser. If you choose yourself, then you win. You might not get all of the physical things you're looking for, not necessarily, but that is that is the ultimate victory. And it does open up a whole lot more possibility for you to get the things that you want in the real world. It really does. When your brain is open, seeking, searching, hopeful, open to these things, then you will receive more opportunities. And maybe you receive more opportunities, and because of that, you follow them, and then you experience more pain than you would have otherwise. That's what faith is about. Faith is about answered prayers and miracles and stuff. And it's also about suffering. And if you aren't willing to deal with that ambiguity and those extremes and that intensity, then what are you even doing here? I know it's a little intense, but I feel like if you're gonna try to hide away from the world entirely and hide away from your fears and your desires entirely, I feel like it'd be more enjoyable to be 6 feet under. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Long time no see. Hey, Miles. Good to hear from you. I have been out of it, or out of here. I've been off doing my thing for a while. I think you came in partway through, so feel free to rewatch later if you want to, or I'm just going to let you know I've been in craniosacral therapy training for the last 4 days and needed to be very dialed in to that because I have been through an experience. An experience of faith. I put this off for 10 plus years because it's freaking voodoo what they do there. It's so subtle. This kind of sensing of rhythms in the body and working with that is on a level that the left-brained scientific academic community really struggles with, which is interesting because craniosacral therapy actually came out of the hands and minds and souls of people who were medical doctors, who are osteopaths, who are doing real research and still to this day continue to do the real research, and they're patient about it. And they're not going to stop what they're doing just because other people don't validate what they sense in their hands. They see with their eyes, they feel with their energy, they know something's there, they know something's happening, they know something's important, and they'll take it. They'll be called quacks. They'll be belittled and attacked and laughed at. And they keep going because they don't care about that. They care about the research. They care about helping people. They care about the truth. So whatever that looks like for you, keep going. Do the thing. Make the choice. Don't let yourself live a life in reaction to people and forces that don't even really see you correctly. You're not entitled to them seeing you correctly. You were never entitled to that. It's not an attack on you. And you still have the opportunity to do the research, to seek the truth, to do the work, to show up, to help people. And I hope you do. The Lovers, clarified by 3 of Grains. Oh, the glare, man. The Hermit. And Knight of Feathers. Three of Grains, 3 of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. It's making things happen in the real world with other people. It's just funny because it says the Hermit right here, right? John the Baptist. 3 of Grains on this card is building Solomon's temple. Has King 6:12 on it. As for this temple you are building, if you follow my decrees, observe my laws, and keep all my commands and obey them, I will fulfill through you the promise I gave to David, your father. The Hermit. I mean, this is John the Baptist here, but also Jesus was the hermit in a sense. Like, he went out into the world and did service, but it was also very important to him to, like, be in isolation, to find spaces of meditation, to go off into the woods, into the cave, and find answers internally alone, right? So that he can help other people in the world. I don't remember that much about John the Baptist, but I think similar there, right? And Solomon's temple, like, the story of King Solomon is so rife with controversy. It's so intense. He wasn't a good man and he wasn't a bad man. He was a powerful man. Let's say that. He had a lot of influence. And he didn't find enough of this hermitage. He didn't find enough of these internal answers. I think that's what part of the problem was. He had all these wives, all these connections to all these places. He learned about all of this magic and all of these different ways of approaching things that is, like, effective and powerful. He synthesized all these different cultures and belief systems, and, like, he brought people together. He created so much power through the sorcery that he practiced. And he was seduced by the power that he found, that he stepped into. And he felt how much of an impact he could make. And he was seduced by the level of impact that he could make. And he just kept marrying more wives and making more alliances and building more things. And, like, King Solomon was not a good man and he was not a bad man. He was a powerful man, just like you. But maybe you're being asked to balance out your desire to work with people in the world, your desire to find and step into and utilize that impact. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where that power came from. Don't forget to get quiet sometimes, to listen. But then also to speak. And to speak Knight of Feathers. To speak with a certain degree of openness and innocence and authenticity, transparency. Here, Paul the Apostle, Acts 9:20 says, "At once he began to preach in the synagogues that Jesus is the Son of God." People preach that Jesus is the Son of God all over the place, all the time. But does that mean that they're coming from a good, healthy place? Usually they're not. Usually they're not. The church is a scary place these days if you haven't been paying attention. It is more the lust for power that brings people into this Knight of Feathers space, into this preaching space, than any kind of genuine inspiration and spiritual insight and connection to God. So sit in the quiet first. Next time you have the experience of being overly optimistic and being hurt, next time you have the experience of being pessimistic and being stuck and isolating, the next time you're in those places, try and catch it, recognize it, and immediately slow down, go inside. You're not ready yet. I know you want to move. You feel the electricity. You feel the reactivity. You want to move towards your desires. You want to disregard your fears. You want to try. But just because you're moving and talking and waving your hands around and having something to say, it doesn't mean that you're actually doing anything. You can be back and forth and back and forth. Where'd it go? And back and forth in this. On the surface, looking entirely different in your actions, in your words, in the circumstances, yet being in the exact same energy the entire time, being caught in a loop. This breaks you out of the loop. This brings you into the center. It takes you into the spokes and out of the wheel, into the still point that's always still, no matter how much the wheel is turning, no matter how much info that you're processing. It's like you always knew, but you can't remember until you stop trying to know. And as you learn to preach more and more only from a place of groundedness and connection to the purest, deepest part of yourself and your connection to God, and that's when you move, that's when you build, that's when you're gonna find the teamwork that works for you. Again, you can preach all you want, you can have people around you, but this isn't teamwork. This is people feeling hopeless. This is victim, rescuer, persecutor energy. This is let me be your savior. You don't need that. They don't need that. Nobody needs that. We need this. And dang, if we were able to create Solomon's temple without Solomon being one person with so much power and authority and potential to impact everybody else in the system, then his fall wouldn't have had such a negative effect. It wouldn't have been so damaging. We could have re-regulated. We don't need a leader. We have a leader. We know where we're going. We know the truth. Everybody does. And trying to follow someone like that is a move of fear that that's not true. When we know in our hearts and our souls that that is the truth of everyone's soul. And you know, the main thing that's holding them back from stepping into that is us giving that example, leading by example, running from our fears, running towards our desires, from a place of desperation, from a place of believing that we're the only ones with good intentions. I know this is going to be controversial for some people, but I truly do believe that pretty much everybody on earth has good intentions. They may have their sphenoid bone out of whack in a weird place, and they're having psychological issues because of that. That's not their soul. That's an expression of the degeneration of the world around them and how it's impacted their physical vessel and how their soul is expressed in the world. But everybody has good intentions. Everybody loves you. Everybody's your brother and sister. They always have been. There's nothing that could stop that, that could change that. And sometimes if people are coming at you and they're making you bleed, you might have to make some physical space there, but that doesn't mean that you have to give over to them in your mind and your heart that way. You don't have to let other people's lack of faith in the world become reflected in the way that you see the world, because they tried to project that false belief system onto you by creating circumstances that test your faith. And you can look at them as a blessing at that point. Thank you for testing my faith. Because that's how we get where we're going. I could not believe, I could not choose, I could not have true innocence, lasting, sustainable, true innocence, without being tested and choosing the truth anyways. We are born perfect and beautiful as children, but if we don't go through the rebirth, if we don't go through the tomb, if we don't go through the suffering, it's still beautiful, it's still good. I don't hate on children. It's just, it's delicate. It could be broken at any moment. So when you can find your inner masculine in a way where you're able to protect and sustain and nurture that part of yourself, that child in your heart, then you're a family that can survive, that can withstand what we're going through on this earth right now. It's inevitable. You could try to hide in a cave, but it's gonna find you one way or another. The sky is falling. Literally. So what are you gonna do with that? How are you gonna lead? What are you gonna show people? What are you gonna show the world? How are you gonna show the world what's possible? How are you gonna choose innocence? How are you gonna choose truth? How are you gonna choose love? And I believe that we're all en route right now. Some people may leave their physical vessels, I think, through this process. But I don't think anybody has the potential to stay in the darkness right now. It's not part of the game plan. It's not part of the physics. It's not part of the cosmology. It's not part of the astrology. It's not part of anything that I see going on right now. This is inevitable. This is not a choice, but yet it is. There is no force and coercion and manipulation. It is inevitable, but the timeline is entirely in the air. And the only control you have over the timeline is your control over your part of it. And sometimes people are like, I don't want to be in a place where I'm good and I got my stuff figured out, when not everybody does. Because I don't want to make people feel small. I don't want to make people feel bad. But that's the friggin' voice of the enemy right there. It's well-intentioned, I think, usually. But anybody that is going to take to heart, that's going to be offended and hurt by you stepping into your truth, they can't see the truth anyways. They are in a space of delusion anyways. They are in the darkness anyways, meaning it really, literally does not matter what you say or do. they are committed to their belief system, and they are committed to manifesting whatever it is within that belief system that reinforces it, because they want to be validated as the victim, or they want to be validated as the martyr. Stop validating people. No free parking. No. You cannot let other people live off of your light and benefit off of your light without doing their own work. Because all that does literally is takes light out of circulation. I don't think that that's a permanent thing. But I mean, hiding it's sure not helpful. It's sure making it real hard for a lot of people to have faith right now, because a lot of people are hiding the truth. But again, that's not up to you. All you can do is take care of you. All you can do is be an example. All you can do is find your truth. All you can do is your peace. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be a King Solomon. Don't try to be a Jesus. Don't be, self-sacrificial to the point of self-destruction. Don't be self-aggrandizing to the point of mutual assured destruction. We don't need any of that. We already have what we need. All the children. We're here. We'll see what the timeline looks like. We'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to see what it looks like for you, how it plays out for you, and I'd love to hear about it. So please come back on Wednesday. Come back whenever you have the chance. Reach out. It's already been over an hour, and I need to go eat breakfast for sure. Good luck with your journey with your sphenoid bone, your butterfly-shaped bone, metaphorically, physically, whatever. I'm gonna catch up on the chat for a minute. Oh, thank you. It's okay to throw fucks, just apologize, we're all humans. I love you, Miles, thank you. Yep. All right. Thank you again. I will see you very, very soon. I love y'all so much. Have a beautiful day. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I will see you next time.